Welcome back to the Yaffee program. We are here on News Talk 770 AM 92.5 FM WVNN. I am Alabama's voice of reason, as you know. Got to tell you real quick, though, about my good friends at the Huntsville Men's Clinic. They're the state's #1 rated men's clinic for ED, low testosterone, and male enhancement. They're celebrating their 5-year anniversary. They know exactly what they're doing. There's a reason why so many people have gone to them with these issues. Because easy to make an appointment. Go to HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com. You can also give them a call, 256-368-0333. And they have a lot of new options available this year as well. It's easy to get your testosterone checked, guys. You might think there's nothing you can do when it comes to energy, motivation, drive, or issues in the bedroom. You think, oh, well, I'm just getting older. Nothing I can do. But no, there is something you can do. See the experts at the Huntsville Men's Clinic. They're not going to just push a bunch of pills either that you could get online. No, it's real treatments based on real science. 92% of men who have tried their treatments have seen results. So go to HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com. HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com. Change your life today for the better. Make your relationships better. Everything better. When you do, let them know Yaffee was the one who sent you. All right, let's end the show like we usually do. We have the Yaffee program rewind. All right, there you go. It's that time of the show where I remind you, if you missed any of it live, well, the podcast will be up on the website, on the WVNN app as well, on any of your podcasting apps or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Go to WVNN.com to find out more information on that. So we started the show today talking about the latest news this week that this country, our country, has hit the threshold of $40 trillion in debt. And every time I bring up this topic, one, I'm frustrated because, it's just, we have made this problem worse. We knew this was an issue back when we were $30 trillion in debt, even before that. But instead of doing something about it, even back then, we doubled down, and now it's $40 trillion in debt. And the main point I made is that it affects your life. When you say something like $40 trillion, it seems abstract. You can't wrap your head around it. It doesn't seem like it affects you. It's just kind of out there. But it does affect you. There is a reason why we can't seem to get below 2% inflation. There is a reason why we can't seem to get above 3% economic growth. There is a reason why we can't spend what we want on the military. There's a reason why people think they're not going to be able to get Social Security like my generation. It's all right there. And when you look at $40 trillion in debt, it's also a big reminder just how giant our government has gotten. It's too big. And it's growing and expanding when it should be shrinking. So we talked about that at the beginning of the show. The podcast is up. We had the Alabama bullet points as well, the top stories from around the state. Data centers came up. Tuberville is defending data centers. Flock cameras came up, and John Walls going against them. So a lot of prominent Republican Alabama politicians are coming out against flock cameras, which I told you was going to happen. Even though I'm not for just taking them down, I am for adding more safeguards. I'm going to lose this argument, at least in the near future. And I think a lot of communities are going to start shutting them off. It seems like we are headed in that direction. So we had that in the bullet points. We also spoke with a member of the Trump administration about education and about school choice. So if you missed that interview, the podcast is up. I talked about the latest in Iran as well, where Trump has declared economic warfare against Iran. He said economic D-Day against Iran is what he called it. In fact, go ahead and play Trump Cut 1 for me, Walker.
We have possession, complete control of the strait. Outside of nuisance value, and there is nuisance value when they shoot a drone every once in a while. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of oil coming out, a lot of oil. It's not going to be perfect, but it's a lot of oil coming out. Look, it's very simple. They have to get rid of no nuclear weapons. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. You know why? Because they'd use it, and we're not going to let them use it.
All right, and then you have retired General Jack Keane talking about the latest as well. I played this cut earlier. Play the Jack Keane cut for me.
In dealing with Iran from a military perspective, I think we're very much on top of our game. But we stopped it at 38 days. We had about 14 days to go. And we got a little seduced by them because, they were talking nice, reasonable.
Right.
But that's what they've done with other administrations as well. For the life of me, I don't understand why people thought this was new. This is old tactics on their part. Hardliners in control, negotiators reasonable, trying to get concessions out of us because they're working for the hardliners. That's kind of their pattern line. Yes, the Iranians are dead set on recovering here and rebuilding what they lost. And what they lose is going to be significant. And you know where I'm coming from. I think it's a combination of what Secretary Besson is doing, which is eye-watering work here, very good. The naval blockade, excellent, and military power, all of that coming together, and I believe we bring these guys to their knees once and for all.
All right, so we talked about that. The podcast is up. We also had the legendary Will Hampson on, the official D.C. insider of the show. He made the point that Republicans and Democrats don't seem to really care about the national debt. You have some that will talk about it, but none that are really willing to do what's necessary to handle the issue. So we discussed that, but also John Ossoff, who he believes is going to run for president. He's currently a senator in Georgia. He's running for re-election there. But he had a comment that went viral, a hit against Trump, which Will Hampson called a low blow. In fact, go ahead and play the John Ossoff cut for me.
And while the sailors on the Lincoln fight his war, while he fruitlessly drains our munitions and oil reserves, the president sleeps through his meetings. He golfs and trades stocks. See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
All right, so we talked about that. The podcast is up. We have What's Trending as well. If you missed any of the show, the podcast is up. Thanks to Walker for producing. Thanks to you for listening. I'll be back tomorrow at the same time for Friday edition of the show. See you then.
You're listening to Yaffee on WVNN.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
Start your day with the morning jolt of Drake Toll.
Anywhere in the country.
Your home for talking sports.
The United States hockey team has 4 teeth left. What is LeBron James' legacy? Lionel Messi. 906 career goals is stupid.
All of it.
The Knicks. The Los Angeles Lakers. Aaron Rodgers. Georgia football players. The Dolphins. The Mets. As it happened, when it happened, we'll talk all of it.
Westwood One Sports Talk. Your home for Drake Toll. Follow and listen on your favorite platform. Mic Drop, hosted by former Navy SEAL Mike Ridland.
How would you characterize your prowess?
I'd say my style is that I just kind of outwork everybody till I get there.
Because I'm not a quitter. It's just you, and that's yourself.
Whereas everything else is team-oriented.
The motivation, it was a sort of anger at myself for being weak. That ends up being the driving factor. That anger, that pride, that ego, I think it's a muscle. It gets stronger. When you take that voice seriously, you start to change your life.
Mic Drop. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.